I'm Scott L. Miller. This is Sheep Guarding Llama. It is the 16th of July, 2021. It's Friday, and it is a holiday weekend here in Nicaragua. So this morning, not a lot going on at the hotel. It's very quiet because it's Friday morning. It's always very slow on a Friday morning. But by lunchtime, things picked up and we actually had a pretty busy day. And it's only 5:30 now. The restaurant is packed. People are piling in. Probably going to have a pretty busy night and a really good weekend. We had beer deliveries, I think 2 days ago, because we have so much going on over the weekend. So today started off with kind of an adventure. So yesterday I had talked to someone I know who runs tours down in the estuary, and he said that they're trying to bring in a backhoe and get the estuary cleaned out because it's silted up and all the sea life is dying in the estuary, and so we really need to do something about that. So he was talking about, oh, we're gonna have a community meeting, we're gonna get people together, blah blah blah. So we're like, okay, yeah, definitely let us know. And then today, this morning, some of the people from the indigenous community that live down on the estuary came down and were collecting funds from all of the hotels and restaurants and businesses because we're all affected by the lack of tourism that could happen if the estuary dies. So, yeah, so we gave a bit of money and talked to them for a bit. And they said, the meeting for this is today. If we could come down at 3 o'clock, that'd be great. We're like, okay, we'll send someone down. So that was this morning. I didn't think too much of it. Other than that, it was a pretty normal day. I worked in my office, normal stuff, lots of meetings. This is the end of my second week of my Spanish classes, and I feel like it's going pretty well. I'm definitely having a lot more conversations, much larger vocabulary, working on more and more complicated things. So that's been very good. So at 3 o'clock, Yvonne goes down to the meeting and sends back a note and says, a whole bunch of the money was stolen. And we're like, okay, great. What do we need to do? She's like, you better get down here. So we ended up, all of us, walking down and going to the meeting. And it didn't take much to figure out why they thought they could steal the money. We were the only people who showed up at the meeting, and only because Yvonne went down there, right? So it turns out we had given something like 8 times as much as the rest of the village combined, and they just went in the books and changed the numbers and stole a huge amount of it because it was so much compared to everyone else. It was completely believable that, they could have taken 90% of what we given and it would have been realistic. So we went down there. That turned into a big fight, and we ended up talking. So there's a big community, and like the community leaders there and a bunch of people, and they said, what do you think happened to the money? And they're all like, this guy, he stole it. We're like, well, I guess we don't have to like point any fingers. So they shamed him into going home and getting the money and bringing it back. But we ended up down there for an hour or two. It was like this really big thing, and now we're in charge of organizing this huge thing to feed hundreds of meals for the week, because it's complicated. So the government brought in a giant backhoe yesterday. So we watched it come down the street. We went down, checked it out and everything. It's like, wow, this is a big backhoe. This is definitely a dredging equipment. Like, cool. So it's sitting down at the end of our street, down like way down that way. And if you look on a map, the estuary is the south side of Las Penitas. Like, you can see it. It comes in, it loops around, and then goes out into the ocean. At least if you're looking at Google Maps. In reality, it doesn't go out into the ocean anymore. That's all sandbar now, and it just sits. So it used to be a flowing river. Now it's just sitting water that seeps down eventually. And that means that the oxygen levels aren't right, the brine levels aren't right, and everything's dying. That's what's going on. And every business along there, whether it's a fisherman or the restaurants, they all derive their income from it, right? Fishing in it, shrimping in it, tours on it, boating on it, views of the restaurant on it, you name it. Everybody is based off of that. And there's probably 6 restaurants down there and a whole fishing community, right? Or the basics. So this is a big thing. So the idea is that the government brings this in, but the government can only afford so much. And so they will bring it in, but the community's kind of got to get off their butts and bring in fuel and secure the thing, because people will steal it if there aren't people watching it. So somebody has to be there watching it all the time, 24 hours a day, and it's multiple people because they have to be able to go to the bathroom, all kinds of things. So those people need to be fed. They don't really need to be paid, but they need to be fed and given water and given a place to go to the bathroom and all that kind of stuff. It's not way out there, so it's not too hard to do. Hey Dougie, how you doing? Buenas tardes. So that's the project that they had to work on, and so we're now organizing a way to make all of that happen in addition to the money that we gave. So after we left the meeting, and everybody was super thankful that we were there, and we're the only people, I mean, we gave almost all of the money, and now we're the ones organizing the actual events, and we're the only ones who showed up. So yeah, so Yvonne and Dominica ended up going door to door through town. They're actually doing it right now still, and going to every restaurant and bar in town, and hotel, all the businesses, to see if they won't step up and provide part of the food and everything for the workers, for the people who are watching the equipment and everything. Buenas tardes. So that is what has been going on today, which makes for kind of an exciting day, different stuff. Buenas tardes. So that's it. It's Friday night. I'm gonna be working on my book this evening. I didn't get nearly as much work done throughout the day as I had hoped because of this going on. Plus, we've been really busy. People have been sick. So it's humid today. It's not too hot, but it's definitely humid. It's nice and overcast, but no rain coming. The maids have been out sick, so we've been minimizing how much they're working on rooms. And so a lot of cleaning had to be done today, so there's a lot of disruption. The kids had to spend a lot of time in my office because of it. Just made it very hard to work. Plus, it's just a regular work day, and I was on the phone like all day. But it went pretty well. So now I'm gonna be working all evening. Tomorrow the plan is obviously still writing. I'm gonna hang out in the hotel a bit because there's a bit to do, and I'm gonna play Genshin Impact tomorrow with the kids because Luciana understands that I really need some days off. So we're trying to do it Saturday, Sunday, and Wednesdays that we can play that together because it is a lot of fun. It's just with the book and stuff, it's very stressful. Hey, the chicken bus is here. This is the second one since I was recording, in case you can see it. Real life here. And buenas tardes. Normally when I'm back here, it's extremely quiet. I just happen to pick the time where everybody's going to or from the bus. The bus picks people up right at the end of this road that I'm on, so that's why I'm getting the traffic that I am getting. So yeah, this weekend is going to be super busy. Monday is a day off for everyone here, so we're expecting that people will mostly be arriving at the hotel around tomorrow for lunch is going to be when the real crowds come. Obviously some people are already on vacation and starting to show up, so town is getting busy even now as Friday evening. No one really has Friday off, but a lot of people will have tomorrow off. Under normal conditions, a lot of it's very traditional to work on Saturday mornings for a half day. But because it's a holiday weekend, I suspect a lot of people are not working the half day. So we're already seeing people who are like, oh, it's Friday, we're off for 3 days, get out of town, drive to the beach and do a long weekend. Those people are starting to trickle into town and will be for the next few hours. And so we'll be decently busy tonight, and then tomorrow is going to be just nuts as people start showing up around the middle of the day. No one will come out in the morning, but by noon people will start really coming to town. Tomorrow night will be just jamming, and then Sunday will be crazy. Monday will probably be crazy. A lot of people will try to stay until Tuesday morning so that they can just get back to work just in time on Tuesday and get a really long weekend out of being at the beach. That's what we expect. So we have loads of beer, all kinds of ice ready in the freezers. There's trucks coming through town getting the beer and ice and everything ready. So that's what's going to be going on this weekend. I did manage finally to get the video uploaded for the 11th. So this is currently, what did I say it is? It's the 16th. Took me 5 days. Why did it take so long? Well, it turns out that Shotcut on my desktop doesn't work for rendering. Everything else works fine, but when you render, it gets all weird and can't do the video. So I did render after render after render with that, trying to figure out a setting that would make it work. I finally gave up, got Flowblade, learned how to use Flowblade, which works great. Did the render with that. That render took so long I had to run it through the night, because if you remember, I'm using a really old AMD A10 based Linux desktop. It is slow and it has no GPU rendering capabilities whatsoever. So 4 hours to render a 5-minute post or something, like, it's nuts. So that's why it took me 2 entire days of doing test renders with different software to be able to get it uploaded to YouTube and actually work. so I'm a bit behind, but that's where we are. I've got it up. I'm getting a process down for doing this. GoPro used to let me upload these videos at full quality and just download them as MP4s, and then I could just upload them to YouTube. It was so easy. That doesn't work anymore. Now they make me download them in parts, and I have to re-render them using something like Flowblade, Caden Live, Shotcut, OpenShot, one of those. I have to put it back and make it into something to be able to upload to YouTube. So one of the reasons I used to do this channel the way that I did is because it was so quick and easy. I would record, say 10 minutes, upload it automatically, so I just go do something else. Once it's uploaded, I can just check the website, download it to my desktop, and send it to YouTube. It's a bit of up and down. It was easy. It didn't take a bunch of my effort. Now that workflow does not work. I've got to do a whole bunch of other things, and it's going to take just a lot longer to be able to do everything. So I'm trying to come up with a workflow that is efficient enough that I can really do it. Anyway, that is today for Friday. I don't think there's any other news for today. I will see everybody tomorrow. And if you're following up from the news from yesterday, Luciana's toe is doing pretty well today. No problems at all. I'll see everybody tomorrow.